we have Tim Rosen and Christin Hanley here from the Earpverse. Choose a pew, choose a pew.
Hello.
So some of you may know Tim's character, Doc Holliday. And some of you may know what Christin does on the show. Christin, do you want to tell them what you did on the show and what you've done for the Earpverse?
I'm the script coordinator on the show, and that is basically the person who keeps track of all of the lore and all of the names and all of the family trees and all of the revenants and all of the demons, and I have a lot of spreadsheets. And I also wrote I'm Not Gonna Miss You, which was one of the Audible stories.
And Tim, you also wrote for Winona Earp with Bo to do Black Rock, and you did some writing with some other things around the Earp universe, I believe.
The same as you. I got to write one of the Audible stories. The first one with the train, and I got to write it with Bongo Tummy. I don't know if you guys know who Bongo Tummy is, but you should.
So
I know this fandom enough that they know everything, so I'm not going to tell you the answer because everybody knows, and if they don't know, they're going to, what, who's Bongo Tummy? And then the other people will tell them, how do you not know Bongo Tummy?
There'd be a lot of Google searches after that. So we wanted to talk a little bit about what it's like to write in the Earp universe that it is. And when you were writing your Audible stories, how did you have them fit in with like the lore that is Winona Earp? Because it is a complex web. So if you could talk a little bit about writing the story and how you got it to fit in with what's already out there, we'd really appreciate it.
Oh, me? Okay. Nedley has always been one of my favorite characters, and we don't really know that much about his backstory, except for maybe he might have had a little bit of a fling, but we're not going to talk about that. So Emily said, how would you like to explore some of the backstory of some of our characters? And I was like, I would like to write for Randy. So I had the opportunity to really think it through, and we chatted a lot about what that meant to him and to Waverly, because it's not just that he's got a wife, it's that Waverly also knows about her and would have grown up with her because she was friends with Chrissy. So it was a really, really incredible opportunity to look into the backstory of characters and see how they fit into the world. And one of my favorite things to do on the show, and on any show that I'm on, is to really flesh out the world a lot more. And so sometimes when I'm on a show, one of my jobs is also to do the writing for newspapers and background paperwork and things like that. So I have that story also kind of in the back of my head. And it was just a real joy to bring that story to life for him.
Same thing. It was kind of, Tim, would you like to do this? And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And like all things, with me, especially if I'm scared, I say yes. I know that those are those things in life you must do. The things we are scared of, suck it up. Just do it. It's going to be better. And it was. And it was Doc's backstory, so I was like, great, we're definitely bringing in, I got to have Scrofy with me no matter what I do. So I'm like, we're bringing Winona. And I got to go in the past and do this Western story. And I had always wanted to do a story on a train, and we can't afford a train ever in real life. We got one in Vengeance, but it wasn't moving. And I'm pretty sure Mel and I might have just been on a box for our coverage. But sure, we were on that moving train fighting demons. But you can do it in a book. Same with comics. That's my favorite thing. There's no budget, so you can eliminate budget. The Audible thing was interesting for me because how do you write that style? You need to explain everything to the audience without explaining everything to the audience, which was super kind of challenging and very fun. And I had Brendan with me, Emily's husband, a.k.a. Bongo Tummy. You don't need to Google it. working with me together, and it was great. It was just great to send each other stories and ideas, and I loved it. I loved it, and I really, really liked performing it. Mel was there with me in the room, so it was kind of like, oh, we're on set, and the only note Audible ever gives you is bigger, which in TV is the opposite note. Most of the time it's less, but in Audible, like, can you go bigger? Can you go crazier? We're like, yeah, we can go. So it was very fun.
How did you find working with a writing partner? Did you like that?
I'm super lucky that I got into this with Bo Smith. And Bo Smith was my mentor and writing partner. And I found parallels with him and Brendan. They've been doing it for a while. So it's not that they're not as excited about it, but they're not. Whereas I'm like a freshy newbie, and it's all so excited, and I can see that I kind of reinvigorate kind of their passion for it. So it's very fun because they just kind of rain me down, but at the same time, we just kind of go together, and it's just so nice to know I have this safety net of a professional that understands grammar, because I don't. And so it's so great. I could just be like throwing out ideas, and they're like, calm down. But that one was pretty good, and let's go that way. And so it's really nice, and it's like you have this safety net of these great people that are professionals. So I knew I could do no wrong.
So if there was one like Wynonna Earp sort of lore or backstory rule that you would like to sort of explore more or change, which one would it be?
Ooh, I know mine.
You go.
And also, it's funny when you were talking before about Nedley and you said Randy. How did we never have a Randy's Randy joke? Randy's feeling Randy. As soon as you said it, I'm like, we missed the opportunity. So here's my lore. We go back. We change vengeance. No, in the sense that Randy Nedley has actually been the devil the entire time. And he's evil. And he pre-planned all this stuff, so he's pretending to help the Earp sisters. Now, if you go back and watch, it still all makes sense. He's been this patriarchal father figure, which we need to destroy anyway, if we're Wynonna Earp. And Randy Nedley has been the devil, and he's actually been working against the Earp sisters the entire time, and then we need to destroy Nedley. That's my plan.
So
no, nothing against Greg. I told Greg that. He didn't like it. I love Mr. Lawson. I want him to have a job forever. We could keep Randy coming back. But that's my pitch. I thought it'd be great just to have Nedley as kind of this whole time you thought. But he's so lovely. We all love our Nedley. Everybody's like, Tim, we can't do that to everybody. And I'm like, we must. That's why we must do it. They're like, no, everybody's going to be so sad and angry. I said, yes, that's where we want our Earpers. We want them sad and angry. And then we bring them back from the brink of, yeah, that's my pitch.
It's so
Randy Nedley, the puppet master. It's kind of like the Uno reverse of the whole situation, isn't it?
Purgatory is purgatory. I like
Oh.
it. Yeah, I like it.
I can see it happening. I kind of like it a little bit. What do you think, folks? Would you get on board with Evil Nedley? No, we've got some naysayers. Oh, look, some people are almost as angry as Greg probably was. They're going, no, never, not my Nedley.
Yeah, bring him back after.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Redemption arc for Evil Nedley's redemption arc. I love it. So, which one would you explore more or change, Christin?
Listen, I kind of want to get into it with Mercedes a little bit more. I love the character, and she is so unhinged, and I want to know if she's actually ever sold a house.
I want to see a Selling Sunset style show just
Yes.
with Mercedes Gardner.
Like, she has probably a bunch of listings because she's so charismatic, but has she ever sold one? Who buys real estate in Purgatory? Like, it seems like the kind of place that you just actually move into and just get squatters' rights on houses.
It's possibly true, especially after the arc where then everything's a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Like, you just pick the nicest house and you move in, and Mercedes is like, with her nails, like, yeah, that's going to be my commission.
Yeah.
I need you to make this show. There's a crossover waiting. There is this. If there was only a real estate agent that specialized in metaphysically challenged properties that could then help Mercedes sell the property.
Sort of a mentorship program.
Could work.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think you've got
Love
to
it.
have to make it happen now.
Yeah.
Well, Doc's dead.
Spoiler alert.
Is he?
We're going to go with
Flashback.
evil.
That's what you've given me? A flashback? I've got more hope than a flashback. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, you can just imagine Mercedes arriving going, twin brother. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. So, again, because we don't normally do this, and because it is Christin's first panel, I am going to take questions from any of you that have any questions, hopefully more of you than my last panel. I do have more questions, so don't worry, I can fill. However, I will ask that if you ask any question, that it should be pertinent to what we're talking about here today. These are human beings, and they need to be respectful, and please don't ask about people's personal lives. So, does anyone have any questions? Of course you do. Okay. I love it.
Okay, so my question is, how did you find it writing for the characters for the Audible? Because obviously their dialogue would be different to how it's written. So how was that different to doing it on screen to actually doing it onto the Audible and the books?
Yeah. Interesting. Like I said, I'm kind of lucky because I got into the writing through comic books, which isn't normal script writing either, because there's no budget. So if the artist can draw it, which artists can draw anything, you can have it. But then you need to be careful with dialogue because you don't want a page full of bubbles of dialogue blocking all the art. And then you need to trust the artist that they're going to be able to draw something that will convey what you want to say. So it's kind of like a trust process. And then with Audible, you need to kind of trust in the performers to kind of bring what you're saying on the page too, because like I have all this description that I was writing. They're here and there, but you're never going to see it. So it's like you need to eliminate that, figure out a couple of little ways. Like you just make these cuts and then add other things in like this very interesting way of kind of explaining where we are without saying we're on a hill and we're about to run down the hill, but if we run down the hill too fast, we're going to lose our shoes and we can't, but that's what the scene's about. So you need to be like, find this interesting little balance of explaining what's going on without explaining what's going on. So it was tricky, but fun.
Yeah, you use a lot of like, the thing that I found really interesting was how to write audio cues, because we don't do that in a TV script. So you'd have to be, right about the footsteps get fainter as they walk away, or the door creaks closed, so that they were able to add those in, or where normally it would just be on screen and you would see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What does a comic script look like? Is it familiar? Like, this is a geeky formatting question. I'm sorry.
So pretty much the same as you would do a script, except it's just more descriptive in the description, mm-hmm. And then the biggest nerd thing is that instead of each character's name next to them, there's a number for each time different people speak, so you know which order the bubbles then will go on the page. So it's never just Tanya, Joe. It's Tanya 1, Joe 2, Tanya 3, Joe 3, Joe 4, and then it'd be like a Tanya, Joe 5, 6 if the bubbles combined. It's just then the artist knows. And then there's some coloring notes you need to put for when things, and then you just need to be very descriptive for the audience. And then assume that whoever you're writing for doesn't know anything about something that you talk about, like say we put in a pair of Wranglers, I would then add pictures of a Wrangler jean that I wanted from the internet, and I feel bad because I send like 20,000 things, and there's just notes of like, this is what everything looks for. So it's just easier for them, the artist, to then put everything. So there's a lot of stuff that you're clipping alongside, but it's pretty much scripty with the descriptions being way bigger than script.
Mm-hmm. So you went from like super description to not a lot of description at all. That's a really interesting
Not at all,
swing.
yeah. Yeah, it's very fun. And now I'm writing scripts, and it's kind of a nice balance of both. So it's like nice, it's fun. Yeah, but I'm more budget oriented. Like we're not flying to space. I'm not bringing a train. At first too, they were like, you can't have a train. It's an Audible book. How the hell are we going to do a train and a thing? And I'm like, we can do it. We did it. We did it. They did it.
A couple of choo-choos and a click-clack, and it's
Yeah.
all over.
That's all you need.
So, Christin, how was it for you writing for the dialogue of someone on the Audible as opposed to script editing for them?
I think, you know what, I really love writing for Wynonna Earp, and I love writing for the actors because everybody loves their characters so much, and you can really tell that with the performances. So there's a lot of shorthand that we can do that if you're writing for somebody that you don't know, you don't have the luxury of doing that. So it was a really joyful opportunity, and it is really a lot of like taking the characters and keeping them in mind when you're writing. So it was really exciting and felt really very much like going home to be able to write for them again.
Did anyone have anything else? Oh, we've got another one.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm not being biased here, but Doc's my favorite character. So it's true. Sorry. And I feel like ever since Doc died, I'm stuck in the two stages of grief, which is denial and sadness. So feed my denial. Is there any chance Doc would be alive again at some point? Yeah, sorry, I had to ask. I need it. Thank you.
Well, I mean, he's died before. I'm not too worried. Gotta be honest. I'm also coming from a show called Lost Girl. I don't know if anybody's seen it. If you haven't seen Lost Girl, go watch Lost Girl. You're welcome. If you love Wynonna Earp, Wynonna Earp ran because Lost Girl walked. Go watch Lost Girl. But I was on that show and died 4 times. You know, sci-fi is a great place to die. Especially genre-wise, you know, because if you die in a procedural, your best chance of coming back is a flashback. Whereas sci-fi, I've already got it pitched. I'm just going to throw it out there because I've already pitched Emily on this anyway, so whatever. Here's the story. Did we see Doc's funeral? Did we see him die? Kind of, right? In Wynonna's Earp. But at the time, we're trying to someone was supposed to get back to Alice at the end. We don't know what's going on. Eve is still out there somewhere. Wouldn't it make sense for a team like Windock to say, fake somebody's importance death so that person can then get back to look after Alice without the other people worried that person was out there still? I think we did a big old and you know, and that's why, and I think Jeremy was in on it because it's the only way I'm going to accept that Varun didn't cry when Wynonna told him in the performance when I saw it, right? Because that makes sense, because he'd be bawling. He'd be the saddest person.
They're best friends.
Yeah. So I think it was a big old fakeroo. And then that way, you don't even need to worry about whatever. Either way, other than that, we could just take from Lost Girl. He had the twig of Zamora in his back pocket. He ate the seed of the succubus. There was another curse. A witch needed him back. Guys, it's Wynonna Earp.
Nobody's ever really truly dead.
We fell asleep and Mel was 9 months pregnant. I mean, it's like, I was already dead, by the way. Like, Doc's died. Everyone seems, he's dead this time. I've already died.
I had to turn it off because I was crying so hard. I had to stop. I wasn't involved with making the movie, and so I didn't know it was coming. So I was like, whoa. What?
I knew it was coming. I was pitched it. But yeah, it's sci-fi. I'm not too stressed. I'm not too nervous. I don't think we're gonna get rid of Doc. But if we did, if this was it, I don't look at it as a bad thing. I actually think, not to be biased, Doc Holliday had the best storyline of any character on that show in the 4 years plus the movie. Just the journey that he went on from kind of being a shitty dude to a good guy and a dad. And that's all that I've ever wanted. It's funny because from day one, Emily would always tell me like, oh, don't worry, I'm going to give you a big hero moment this year. And I think in 2, she had this thing where you're getting a big hero moment at the end of the year. Don't worry, you're going to shoot this bullet and it's going to split in half and kill everybody. I'm like, what are you talking about? You already gave me the biggest hero moment of Doc's life. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, he wrote I'm all in on a piece of paper. He made the right choice. For me, that's all it's ever been about. That's the hero moment I want for Doc Holliday. He was a gunslinger from day one. It's kind of like in Vengeance when he loses the battle versus Andrew's character. And they're like, the gun shooting contest of who's going to be the better. And you can't have Doc lose the contest. And I was like, he's got to lose. Why does he even care anymore? You know what I mean? This is he's a dad now. He wants to be a good guy. That's life. You're not going to be the best gunslinger in the West forever, bud. But that's life, And I love the fact that, and he's okay with it. That's what makes it better. Because eventually you're not always going to be the best at what you were at, but you have to be okay with it. And he was totally okay with that. And I was super happy that he would lose that battle. People are like, did he lose? Did he not lose? You can think of it whatever you want. For me, he's just not the best gunfighter in the world anymore, and that's okay.
He's got better priorities now.
I think so.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, is there anything that you can tell us about that you're working on at the moment that we can see you, hear you, look at you in? Just in case fans don't know, we know they snoop on the internet and they found out where you are at any given point. However, is there anything you'd like to tell us about that you're working on just while we close today's panel?
It's the real estate season 2.
Well, we've done season 3. Oh no, season 3's out. This would be the pickup time for season 4, so I'm waiting. If you haven't seen the Karate Kid Legends, go watch it. I'm the new bad guy against the Team Demolition all the way. And if you want to see me naked, not that you haven't, pretty sure Vengeance my ass was in the movie within the first minute 40. You can see my ass again in a new Amazon show called We Were Liars. I have 3 scenes. I'm naked in all 3. One of the scenes literally starts on her. You see me come into the room. My face is not in focus. When it then returns to the back of my ass, it is in focus. So this is where I'm at in my life.
You need to get yourself a 4K television. Yeah.
I've been naked before, guys. My bum's been on TV more times than I can count at this point. Who knew? But yeah, that's where we're at. And I just started producing my own stuff. So there's a movie that I'm going to promote right now called Infiltrate. It's a revenge story. Think Jane Wick. This young girl just takes revenge. Her husband gets stolen and captured by some bad people within the first 5 minutes of the movie, and then she just goes and kills everybody to get me back. And she rescues me at the end. And it's like a super, super action-driven movie. Go see it. It's going to be amazing. Infiltrate in a month.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and Chris. You got anything in the works, Christin, or are you just doing you do?
Oh, I'm not really allowed to talk about it, but I'm on a show right now called Anna Pigeon. It's going to be on USA Network, based on the books Anna Pigeon, and it's set in the National Park System. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see some familiar faces. And yeah, next year I think it comes out.
That is super awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And thank you.
Okay.